Hello. uh, so this is Ghostlore, and it's a dope-ass ARPG that I just recently found thanks to my model boss Swibby playing it on stream today. And it's a dope kind of throwback to games like Diablo 2 and Titan Quest. It's pretty dope so far. It has these two cool, really interesting systems where you get these things called glyphs. And there's two different types. There's simple glyphs and compound glyphs. Compound glyphs gives you the ability to, like, basically, as you add things like simple glyphs to it, they boost their abilities, which is really cool. And then like simple glyphs, which just give you a flat bonus, and you can get a bunch of them, and they come in all these different weird shapes and stuff. They're always the same amount of squares. It's 4 empty squares with the glyph in it in some point. So it's actually really interesting. The second is it actually has this really powers setup where you can grab powers from your class. You can actually multi-class 2 times. So there's a class that you can get at level 15 and a third class that you get at level 30. And then you can actually mix and match a total of 6 abilities and then sort of boost them with these skill modifiers based on each of the different classes. And you have class bonuses that give you additional sort of boosts and changes based on the rows. Each of the items, each of your abilities has like a cross where everything up and down and left and right will actually change the attributes of that skill. It's really interesting, and I've had a lot of fun with it so far. So I'm going to pop into some combat so you guys can check that out too, and then we'll go from there. The game itself is actually really interesting too because it takes place in sort of like an alternate universe Singapore. A lot of the characters and inspiration for a lot of the mobs and stuff come from that. So I've currently got a attack speed spear build that's doing some pretty solid work for me. But as you can see, it's got a pretty traditional Diablo style loot system that also has a food buff system also, where as you find ingredients, you can take them to one of the restaurants on the main island and create food that allows you to like permanently buff specific aspects of your character's base stats. We just actually opened up another socket in the power line here. Actually grab another class of the to our warp to 11. Warp is actually really strong because it not only does it do damage when you come out of it in lightning damage, but it also has a chance to like not eat at charge and has a pretty sizable cooldown rate. So like pretty good so far. I'm enjoying the ability to turn around and then just blow them up with my pressure point. Also, they make some really weird noises when they die. Some things do. Oh, that was a really solid crit. Holy cow. The other thing that's also really interesting about this game is that it actually has a hardcore system. Much akin to Diablo stuff as well, where you can, if you die, that's it. That character's dead. It's very traditional hardcore. That's also another thing that I've also noticed in this game too, is that experience is very slow once you get past like level 6 or 7. Stuff can get overwhelmed pretty quickly. So like you can actually, oh, that's a yellow glyph. Wait, was that a yellow compound? Oh, geez. Also, there's these cool shrines that float around as well. They're like goddesses' blessings. So it's like a shrine from Diablo as well, which I think we're actually gonna go back to town really quick too, because I don't know what that compound was, but it was yellow, which means it's the second rarity that it can. Yeah, so we got a Weka. Plus 5% cast speed, plus 5% fire resistance, plus 20% ice resistance. But it all... Oh, it's Weka, though. So it's minion damage, reflections, projectile multipliers. Anyway, so yeah. This is a really interesting game. If you guys haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet, I recommend it. It's $19.99 on Steam US, which is super good for a budget title. But it also helps to support the developers out of Singapore that actually made this. They put a lot of heart and soul into this, I can already tell. I'm not very far into it. I'm only on the 3rd or 4th map, and everything's procedurally generated, so it's completely different every time you go into a new level. So yeah, it's pretty good so far. I've had a lot of fun with it just in the 3 or 4 hours I've played with it so far, and you guys are looking for a good ARPG that's not too expensive, that has some really neat lore and some very interesting character designs and dope pixel graphics in the vein of Diablo 2, I recommend to check it out. Yeah.